The coronavirus pandemic is posing serious problems for the US, the worst impacted country, ahead of its election in November. While on one hand, President Donald Trump has been calling to postpone the election, Democrats on the other are demanding to facilitate in-mail ballot voting to ensure safe elections. But Trump and other Republicans have said that postal ballots will lead to voter fraud. On the contrary, documented cases of universal mail-in ballot fraud are quite rare in the US. A study by Andrew Hall found that universal voting by mail did not appear to give an advantage to any particular party, race, economic or age group. On the positive side, it increased overall participation by about 2%. The president has been seen claiming that the Democrats are using mail ballots to try and steal an election. Interestingly, Trump supports absentee voting, which uses the same verification process as mail-in voting as per election officials. The only difference is that under absentee voting, the voters request a mail-in ballot to cast votes if they have been absent from their local voting jurisdiction. While under the universal mail-in ballot system, every eligible voter gets a ballot without a request. How does the mail-in process work? The US has 50 states and over 3,000 counties. While every state offers mail-in voting, their rules are different. Simply put, voters who are registered in their respective states need to fill in a mail ballot and verify their identity. The security protocol uses special envelopes, one of which is signed by the voter to later match it with the signed ballot. Ballots are printed on a specific type of paper and include specific technical markings. The voter can use the ballot drop boxes installed by the US Postal Service in designated locations. States like Arizona and Pennsylvania are pressing for mail drop-off sites in public places for convenience. Around 25 of the 50 states allow requests for a mail-in ballot for any reason. Oregon, Washington, and Colorado rely mainly on mail-in ballots. Therefore, when the election authorities receive such a mail-in ballot request, they send the ballot to the address of the voter who wants to exercise this option after an examination of the application. 7 states, on the other hand, have strict qualification criteria to request a mail-in vote in special circumstances like illness, injury, disability, or being out of state. 10 states have allowed automatic dispatch of mail-in ballots to all registered voters. States like Utah have been entirely using the mail-in system since the Civil War in the 1860s. Nearly 1 in 4 voters had cast their votes during the 2016 presidential elections by mail-in ballots. Other reports suggest that even though voting by mail is not new in the US, it is expected to nearly double due to the pandemic this year. But is it a safe option? Experts say that it is next to impossible to interfere with mailed ballots or mail out fake ballots because of the security protocol. Outside observers are also allowed to monitor the process. While mail-in ballots will influx additional cost of postage, it can avoid delays seen in primary elections in the early months due to staff shortage and long queues. But the US Postal Service can also cause a delay in case of an influx of a large number of signed ballots, especially by last-minute voters. According to EAC figures, states rejected 1 to 5% of ballots in 2016 for arriving too late and missing signatures, among other problems. While the elections will cost more, President Donald Trump has said that he opposes $25 billion funding for the United States Postal Service. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, has accused President Trump of sabotaging the election by manipulating the Postal Service to disenfranchise voters.